Hi, my name is Steve. Thank you for visiting today. This is part of my video series where I give you inside information on all things Xfinity. Today I'm talking about replacing your internet equipment with your own equipment instead of rented equipment. This is an in-depth guide of how to do that. And so, if I did make another video, a part one to this, but it's just a little 2-minute ditty. It's very basic stuff, so I'll go over it again here. You don't need to watch that video. So first off, you can see this page that we're on here. This is on the Xfinity community forum. It's a page that I created there. I will leave links down in the description to everything that I am talking about today. So first thing, we just have to define a couple of things. Equipment that you need a modem. A modem is just a basic device that you need to connect to the internet. This is what makes Comcast signal work with your signal. If you have a modem, you're basically just going to have one connection. If you just have one computer, like a desktop you want to plug in, that's probably just fine for you. Most people pair a modem with a router. A router gives you more Ethernet ports, and it also gives you Wi-Fi. Your other option when replacing equipment is to buy a gateway. A gateway is an all-in-one device. It's a modem and router combined. It also has more ports on the back, so typically you got 4 Ethernet ports and Wi-Fi. A lot of people prefer gateways. They're more popular than the separate devices, probably because it's kind of it's an all-in-one. Plug it in, you're good to go. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't care about the DMZ or port forwarding or DNS servers, gateway might be the way for you to go. If you're looking for something more powerful and you want more control, then you probably want to go with a separate modem and router. So the first thing you got to talk about when you're looking at modems is what is their capability, what kind of speeds that can they handle. When you're talking in the cable world, we talk about channels because cable is radio. So in order to have more bandwidth, recently we've been increasing channels. More channels are better. So more channels, more speed, more data going back and forth. So the reason you care about this is because you need to have a modem that has enough channels to handle your speed tier. So the way Comcast basically, they're kind of conservative, but basically Comcast puts out that one channel will handle 25 megabits per second. So therefore, like an 8-channel modem would then be capable of around 200 megabits per second. So next question you're going to say is, I don't even know what my speed tier is. So the way you figure that out is you can go to mydeviceinfo.com. There's a link here for that. You can also just log into your account like you're checking your data usage, and that will also tell you what your speed tier is. So if you go to this mydeviceinfo.com and you log in, you will get a page that looks like this. You can see my modem is an Aris SB6183, but more importantly, this is what we want to look at over here. So you see my speed plan is 250 megabits per second. While you're here looking at this site, you can see that it does show some other equipment that is compatible with my speed tier, and that's the purpose of this site. The problem is that this site is kind of inconsistent, and it doesn't always show you all the equipment that's available and works with your speed tier. So that's why I created this page, which is just a plain list. It's not nearly as fancy, but it does get the job done. So anyways, we saw that I have 250 megabits. Now another interesting fact about Comcast is they do what they call over provisioning. So I'm on a 250 megabit per second speed tier, but I actually see a little over 300. So in both directions there's just a little bit of over provisioning. So you should actually see more speeds than your plan is advertised most of the time. I see it probably 99% of the times I'm getting more than advertised speeds. So anyhow, back to the list here that we got going on. So the way that this list is arranged, we'll just use this one example. This is an RSCM 820A. You can see it's listed as a modem, and it's an 8 by 4. So what that means, it's 8 channels down by 4 channels up. So you can really disregard the up channels right now, because Comcast only has 3 or 4 channels in the upstream now. So any modem handles the 4 channels upstream, so you don't really care about that so much, but you do care about the down channels. So we already established, for me, an 8 by 4 modem is not going to be compatible with my speed tier. It doesn't have enough channels to handle the 250 or 300 megabits per second that my speed tier offers. So for me, I would need at least a 16 channel modem. So you can see here the SB6183, which is the actual modem that I have, is 16 channels down. So that's how you figure that out. You figure out what speed tier you have, and then you figure out the minimum that you need. So if you go through the list here, you'll see they're listed as either a gateway or a modem. So if I had wanted to purchase a gateway instead of a modem and a separate router, then I could have gone with like this Air's SPG6950, and it is a 16 by 4 gateway. So this is how you know that it's a combination modem and router. Alright, so if you get into some of the higher speed tiers, you need what they call a DOCSIS 3.1 modem if you're going for a gigabit speed tier. The standard right now is DOCSIS 3.0, just DOCSIS 3. That's what everything. So the newest speed tiers require a DOCSIS 3.1 modem. So this is if you're on the gigabit tier. Some of the areas are requiring these 3.1 devices for the 400 megabits speed tier, but your mileage may vary. It's kind of inconsistent. But if you want Comcast gigabit offering, I'm not talking about their fiber offering, that's Gigabit Pro, I'm just talking about their gigabit offering, you will need a DOCSIS 3.1 device. And these are the current devices that are approved by Comcast, and you'll see these are all 32 channels, and they're all listed as DOCSIS 3.1. Just as a side note, I see a lot of these showing up. Don't buy the CM100 from Amazon. It is not supported, and you'll just end up sending it back. So the other question people have is, what if you have voice service? So if you have voice service, then you will need a voice compatible device. And the same thing here, you're going to consider what your speed tier is, and then so you're going to need a telephony, that's how you say that word, it's a telephony modem, and you got to consider how many channels they have down. You're kind of limited. Like if you don't want a gateway device, there's really not much that there's the CM500 here, that's just a straight modem. So you're kind of limited in those devices. Now in some cases, for instance, if you have gigabit speeds and you want Comcast voice, you'll see that there are no gigabit modems that are voice capable. In that case, what you can do is you could buy 2 modems. You can buy a DOCSIS 3.1 device for your data, and you can buy another modem, probably the 822G here is your best option. You can buy a second modem that will just serve the voice. So you can have 2 different modems, but that is the only case at Comcast where you can have 2 different modems. So that is the gist of it. So find out what your speed tier is, find out what equipment you want, and then make sure that you've got enough channels in your new equipment to handle. Now, if at any point you get confused, because I know it's a lot of information, you can always pop onto the forums or Comcast, their Reddit sub, and there are people there. There's a whole community there. We'll be happy to give you advice. And there are some modems that you should avoid, even though they're on the approved list here. They might be stinkers, and so it's always a good idea to ask, and we'd always be happy to help you. So stop by. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you for visiting my channel, and have an awesome day.